Mabuyi, thank you so much for joining us. Firstly, may I express my deepest sympathy for the loss of your child in the most tragic way. Can you tell us about the time around which you were grieving for the loss of your child and then decided that you were going to make it part of your life's work to ensure that more children do not lose their lives unnecessarily?
Yes, as you understand, road safety for me is a personal thing. I never thought that this was a subject that I would even investigate as part of my research. When I started my master's studies in January 2016, I wanted to research BRT because that's the project that I'm involved in within the eThekwini municipality. But as luck or would have it, then something happened that just changed the course of everything. It just flipped my life upside down. Initially, I did not think that it was a subject that I could tackle as part of the research, but digging deep and wanting to know the answers of what happened was something that I could have done. I'm a civil engineer. I work for the Transport Authority that is responsible for road safety within eThekwini municipality. Is it something that the municipality or my department is not doing or is not seeing? That's why then I thought, let me tackle it and then just make it my mission that I contribute something, especially to those children that are still potentially out there going to be victims of road safety.
Now, as an engineer, I'm sure you will agree that data and information is key to how we progress in society. Tell us what you found when you started your research.
eThekwini Transport Authority actually collects data. Every day they go to police station and they pick up accident records and it's inputted into our database. So basically having that information helped me in completing my research. When I set out with my research, I wasn't sure what I was going to find. Like I said, I just wanted answers for myself, especially. When then I looked at 10 schools within eThekwini municipality. I didn't know where those schools would be that have the highest road traffic accidents. What I found was that most of all the 10 of those schools are located in 3 key areas: in Umlazi, in the South Durban Basin area, in Jacobs, and also in Sydenham. The study indicated that those schools are usually within 1 kilometer of each other. So those are a cluster of schools. The reason for the high accidents is that, as you can imagine, after school, you get hundreds of children flooding the streets. That's when then they are more exposed to road traffic accidents. My study also analyzed the data to look at the critical causes of the road safety incidents. And I found out that there are 3 factors that actually contribute to road traffic crashes. The first factor is being the human factor. The second one is road and environmental factors, and the vehicle factor. With regards to the human factor, my study focused on obviously the children. And I uncovered that children at a young age, they lack the skills to actually navigate the road. We may see it as a simple task as adults, but for young children, they have to have visual skills. They need to have their hearing also well established. They need to be able to determine the gap between the cars that are actually passing by. So for them, that's a complex environment. So they find it difficult to actually navigate. And also looking at the physical stature of young children, most of the primary school children are short. So if there is on-street parking, a driver cannot see a child that is trying to actually cross the road. Coupled with the underdevelopment of a child that also doesn't know exactly what to do when faced with that situation, that's when then the crashes actually happen. I also investigated the environmental factors at the schools that are actually identified. And I found that, for example, road traffic signs and dedicated crossings that are marked for children, they are not, they're not visible in some instances. In some instances, they are not even applied at all. Looking at traffic calming around these schools, the policy within eThekwini is that they put speed humps only on the road that is adjacent to the entrance of the school. But you find that most of these 10 schools are very close to high order roads. These are main roads with high traffic speeds, with high traffic volume. So when kids cross those roads, then they are actually exposed. There's actually no traffic calming or anything to safeguard them from crossing the road. So those are the main findings that I uncovered from my study. The interventions that I also read about as part of my literature review talk to education. It's about teaching the children how to cross the road. There are various media that one can use to teach the children. There is classroom teaching. You can use electronics. You can use video games that children are familiar with. But the most effective type of training that my study uncovered is practical training. This means that it is much better for a parent to actually take the child to the road, expose them to the road environment, let them know, teach them. Children are very familiar with the concept of show and tell. So take your child to the road, show them and tell them. But classroom training on its own, without practical training along the road, is not as effective. You can teach children about road safety signs, but you cannot teach them how to behave when they're faced with the situation.
Now, all of your findings are groundbreaking, but it also gives a solution. Have you already been able to get it to the attention of those higher up in the traffic department and indeed the education department as well?
As I said, I work for the eThekwini Transport Authority, and annually we have what we call an ETA conference. So I presented my findings at the eThekwini Transport Authority annual conference. That's where the deputy head that is responsible for road safety and the senior managers that are responsible for road safety actually sat. And they indicated that they would like, for example, to adopt the school zone concept that I'm proposing. The school zone concept talks to demarcating an area of about 1 kilometer or 2 around the school and applying all possible road safety measures. For example, decreasing the speed in the vicinity of the school, putting textured paving, applying traffic calming, putting road signs, making sure that all road markings are visible. Widening the sidewalks, for example, for those kids that actually walk to school from their homes or in that vicinity. In Sydenham, for example, and also in Jacobs, I found out that most of the kids that attend those schools come from Umlazi. So they use scholar transport to actually get to those schools. So basically, around those schools, one thing that can be done is to make sure that there are demarcated parking areas or turnaround areas where those children can then be picked up and dropped off later on in the evening or early in the morning when they attend school.
I dare say South Africans across the country will be hoping that all of that work that you've done will be taken note of and implemented. And congratulations. I believe you will be receiving your master's degree this coming Thursday. And allow me to say your daughter would have been very proud. Thank you so much for joining us.